Greetings and salutations. It's Sunday morning, God damn,
Jesus.
January 26th. Welcome to the Let's Not Do This podcast. You got the big O Leon Oliver sitting alongside the two of the unwise men. We got Scotty Too Hottie and Chris Green. Gentlemen, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. It's a holiday.
It is.
It's
Scotty, how are you?
National Fuck Philly Day, and I brought the goose back for it.
Oh, as the Commandos take on the Eagles. I see Scotty's all primed and ready with his Washington Commandos shirt here.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Nice. Well, um, first of all, let's clear a little business here. We are coming at you on a Sunday for the first time ever. Usually we do our podcast on Thursday nights at 6:45. Then we do our super duper sports betting focused podcast doing lines on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Obviously, we have been conspicuously absent over the last couple of weeks, and that's for good reason. Our friend Brian, who was the fourth member of this podcast, sadly lost his fight with cancer. And we have been in mourning over him, and it just didn't feel right doing the show. Those of you that are loyal listeners, watchers, viewers may have noticed, he hasn't been on over the last few months. And at first we were doing kind of a, a zany, where is Ryan? I think I put him in Uzbekistan maybe at one point, or I think there was some political unrest in South America. I think he was in. We were just kind of having some fun with that. Brian's obviously a very private person when it comes to stuff like that, so we didn't want to say that he was battling that terrible illness, but we missed him on the show. We just kind of wanted to put him in some zany situations that he would never be in, that we found to be hilarious. And so that's why he hasn't been here, and that's why we won't see him here going forward. But we'll talk about him more later on in the show. We attended his funeral services yesterday. It was a tough day for all of us, but we love him and we miss him dearly, and we'll talk about him more a little bit later on in the show as we pay our respects to our dear friend. So with that little piece of show business out of the way there, we'll kind of get into it. This morning, obviously, is Sunday. We're coming at you on Championship Sunday. The Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles, and then the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs conference championships, which I don't know what you guys. I'll start right there before we get into it. To me, this is the Super Bowl. Like, for football fans, because the Super Bowl isn't for football fans. You got all the performances and the commercials and the hijinks and the secretaries winning the Super Bowl squares in your office, and people that show up and talk through the whole game and just want to eat food and tell you to be quiet doing the commercials. The Super Bowl is not for football fans. This, to me, is the ultimate day for football. It's the conference championship game. We decide the two teams are going, but the rest of it isn't. I'm more excited for the conference championships than I get for the Super Bowl. Is this just me, or do you guys feel similar? Or
no, it's not just you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like this usually is like the best day of football of the year. The championship games are usually a lot better than the Super Bowl for whatever reason, and I think it's going to be like that this year. Got two good matchups, two matchups with teams that don't like each other. Obviously, our game, division rival, and Buffalo and Kansas City always seem to be a factor in the AFC every year now. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Chris, you were saying?
This is the football fans' best day of the year. I enjoy of course, I love the Super Bowl just because of the zany commercials and shit. That's always fun, but it's not an actual football day. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the games today. Fuck Philly, always, especially today, and should be a good one.
All right, well, let's get into some of these picks here, starting with the early the Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, and let's see if I can transition from one thing out of this. Hold on, give me 1 second here. It's the first time because the lower thirds don't work with this thing that I've built as we produce live on the fly here. Um, I'll bring it in here. All right, you got the see what I'm saying? It doesn't work with that, so I had to pull that out. But anyway, the Commanders in Philadelphia taking on the Eagles. Philly laying 6 points. Over under is 47.5 today, 3 p.m. on Fox. Scotty, since you obviously are showing where your pick is going, I'm going to go ahead and start this off with you here.
Well, no, this is not where my pick is going because I would never officially pick my team on the podcast. That's an auto jinx. But yeah, excited for this game. There was no scenario, no matter how good you would have told me Jaden Daniels was going to be, where I thought we would be 1 win away from the Super Bowl. So it's kind of nuts that we're here. But yeah, like I said, I can't really pick a side in this game. So I'm going to go with the under on this one. I know it seems like a low total, especially our offense has been on fire. We've been playing a lot of high-scoring games, but the game in Philly went under this number. And I think it's going to be a much different game than the Detroit game. The Eagles are a lot different. They got a better defense. They're going to run the ball. Jalen Hurts has been struggling throwing the ball. I think they're going to run a lot. He's not going to turn the ball over 4 times like Jared Goff did. They're not going to go away from the run like the Lions did. And people have been asking me every week of the playoffs, who do I think the Commanders are going to win? And I've given the same story every week. So I don't know if we're going to win, but we're going to be there at the end. It's going to be a close game. That's what I'm going to say again this week. I don't know if we're going to beat the Eagles, but we're going to be there at the end. It's going to be close. Maybe I keep that good luck going. But yeah, going with the under, I think we tend to have a lot of long possessions when we're clicking. There's not a whole lot. Every now and then, Daniels will throw a bomb to McLaurin, but usually we're just kind of dinking and dunking and running the ball a lot. Like I said, Philly's going to be running the ball. Division rivals, that means it's the 3rd time this year that they've seen each other. It's going to be very intense. I don't think the weather is going to be too bad, so I don't think that's going to be much of a factor. But yeah, it's going to be a heated battle. Clock's going to be running a lot, and maybe Daniels has some nerves at the beginning. So yeah, give me the under 47.5.
Under 47.5 coming from Commanders fan number 99 right here. Christopher, I know. We know you're not picking the Eagles. So I'm sure you aren't, are you?
Absolutely not. I'm gonna keep riding the bet that I've been with the Commanders for the last few weeks. Give me a Terry McLaurin anytime touchdown. It's cashed 3 or 4 times in a row now. He's
Something
been
like that. Yeah,
amazing. So yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I would lean towards the over just because that's a really low total for these two offenses, even if Jalen Hurts is banged up. Hopefully, we do not turn the ball over as much as we did in that second game against the Eagles. I think it was Brian Robinson fumbled twice, and Jaden Daniels threw 2 picks. So, yeah, go Washington, fuck Philly, Terry McLaurin anytime touchdown.
When I look at this game, I go back and I look at the regular season matchups. Obviously, this is the 3rd meeting between these division rivals. They split, this year, each team winning on their home field. But I go back and I look at, I think it was week 16 when Washington won, and Jalen Daniels had those 5 touchdown passes, I think, but 3 of those came after C.J. Gardner-Johnson was ejected. And I mean, he's a ball hawk in that Philadelphia secondary and a big difference maker there. And I think when you look at these two teams, if you really square them up and go position by position, and the New York Post mentioned this in their preview too, you kind of give the edge to Philadelphia across the board, except at one position, I think. And I agree with them on their assessment of that. That's the quarterback. And especially the way Daniels has played, going into this postseason and in the postseason, and, how healthy is Hurts as well. you give them the edge there. And so when I look at this, it's the under sounds interesting. I do like it because it's playoff football. It's the third time they're going to see each other. Yes, these offenses have scored a ton, but I think you're going to get a heavy dose of Saquon on the ground, of course. And I feel like Washington's going to run the ball a little bit more too. I feel like Philadelphia is going to try to throw some different things at Daniels, try to confuse him. I think a guy that watching this game too is. Did my camera just die? I literally didn't press anything. It literally just died. That was weird. Okay,
Yeah,
you were
it's probably
trying to-
better for ratings.
yeah.
Yeah.
It literally just clicked off like on its own. That was okay. Guess I'm too
was Ryan.
sexy for this. Yeah, it was.
Ryan
it
did
was Ryan. One more hijinks from him. I'm tired. I know where he's going. Yeah, it probably was him. But I think a key difference maker in this game is going to be Zach Ertz, the former Eagle. And it's funny because people in Philadelphia, you talk to Philly fans, they still love him. It's kind of one of those things where if you play hard in Philadelphia, if you do it the right way, they'll love you forever, no matter where you go. Maybe unless you sign with the Mets or something, but if you're a baseball player, but people still love him and respect him there. I don't know how much they're going to love and respect him after this game because I think he's going to be a big part of Washington's offense. I have him in a parlay for anytime touchdown during this game, but my official pick on this is going to be Washington plus the 6 points. And I actually am going to look at comboing it with that under because I do think it's going to be a kind of a low scoring close game. But I'm going to take Washington plus the 6. Y'all both aren't going to want to hear this. I think Philadelphia gets to win. But I think this is going to be like a 24-20 kind of game. And I could see Philadelphia getting a win here late and going to the Super Bowl. Also, Washington fans, you all made a cardinal mistake by decorating the Rocky statue. That does usually not end well for teams that do that. I saw him with like a Washington bandana and it looked like he had a beach towel wrapped around him like it was a skirt or something. Not a good look for that.
I think that was a Philadelphia fan trying to jinx it. It was a plant.
It was a false flag.
Conspiracy theory. Yeah, exactly.
Inside job. I believe that too.
When I think
if you look at the gear, it looks like something an Eagles fan would go buy just to put on a statue.
Yeah, they definitely got it from Walmart.
Definitely. When I think about inside job when it comes to football, it all comes to mind that 2005 Virginia Tech game when somebody apparently, was it 05 or was it 07? I can't remember. Tech has won in Charlottesville so many times. But where they allegedly spray painted the T, someone did on the field next to the V for Virginia. And everyone claims it was the inside job by Virginia football to kind of like try to motivate the guys before the game. It did not work. I know 05 was 52-14. I forget what 07 score was, but yeah, maybe it was the inside job. Maybe it was Joe Gibbs. Maybe Joe Gibbs climbed the Rocky statue and put the stuff on there. We know it wasn't Dan Snyder.
Well, yeah. So that Schefter article just goes to show you how awesome Gibbs is and how much of a douche Dan Snyder continues to be. Because I said Gibbs, a lot of people. Gibbs was like the one that pretty much made Snyder like finally concede and sell the team.
By the way, in that article that Scotty referenced, and you can find from Adam Schefter on ESPN.com, it mentioned Dan Snyder and just kind of how bitter he is still, and he's kind of in seclusion in London doing some business and maybe looking at trying to buy into a Premier League team, which, by the way, I would love because they don't tolerate that over there. The way he ran the Redskins/football team here, they don't tolerate that. The fans will literally like be up in arms and like almost come to blows with you. It's different over there when you're owning a team. But I would love to see that happen, just to see a revolt from like Aston Villa fans or whatever team he buys. That being said, in the article, one of the things that it mentioned was he tried to blow up the sale at like the last minute. It's literally like the day of the sale that morning, and it's like 1 a.m. and they're trying to convince him to sell. And I'm sitting there like, can you imagine like they're just telling you hand over your banking info? And imagine not wanting to hand over your banking info, knowing that $6 billion is going to go into your bank account in a couple hours. Let me tell you something. whatever Nigerian prince that has the email scheme, if you tell me I'm going to get $6 billion, go ahead, because you might be able to convince me to give over my banking info at that point. $6 billion.
Yeah. That guy, man. I'm glad he's gone. But yeah, I do hope he buys a Premier League team just so I can root against him. I'll finally have a rooting interest.
Can you imagine if he buys a Premier League side and then they end up stinking and then they get relegated and they have to go to the championship? It would be so great to watch him like take a team down the table, the exact opposite of Wrexham going up the ladder. See him going down the ladder.
He'll be playing our Caledonian Braves at some point.
Yes. Onward, Braves, onward. All right, and one thing that I wanted to mention here with this game, and just you talk about glow ups. Guy that's had a glow up really, man, is Daniels. When you go back and look at him when he was at Arizona State, and then you go back and look at the LSU, and now with the Commanders, I mean, just like he bet on himself, and this guy's winning. I mean, he's far and away, obviously, rookie of the year. I mean, you could make a case for him to be MVP. He won't win it, obviously. It's going to be Lamar or Josh Allen, but you can make a case for him in terms of how valuable he is to that team. But I keep thinking about when he was at Arizona State. And when he left, look at the reaction his teammates had.
Shit out. He out of this. Fuck anyway.
They literally went through his locker and was taking all his stuff, and you hear them say, "Clear this shit out. He out of this bitch. He sucked anyways." One of his teammates said he sucked anyways, and I'm sure this guy is selling insurance for Geico in Tempe, Arizona, or whatever, and Daniels is playing in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are playing football anymore unless they're in like the CFL or that Europe League that we found out about because
the European
Jack
League
Del
of
Rio's
Football.
Yeah.
But just to have that complete 180 when you look at these guys at Arizona State who, for whatever reason, maybe they're jealous of his talent. I don't know. But you see Jaden Daniels where he leaves there, obviously a toxic situation. He goes to LSU. Seems like everyone loves him. He puts up big numbers. He wins the Heisman. He goes to Washington now. And literally you can see from like day one when you go in and those guys had his back. They loved him. The rally behind him, the way he leads the team. It's just like just goes to show sometimes you bet on yourself, you're going to win. And that's what he did. And the teammates love him. And it's just a complete 180 to see that reaction when he left a bad situation. This isn't the current Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State. It was a bad situation there.
Yeah. That was
my computer is like going wiggy. I'm sorry, boys.
Yeah. It's all good. You're frozen and it's funny looking.
You might have
Ethernet cable in. So who Jeez. So who is Ryan rooting for?
Ooh, good question. Probably the Commanders.
I think so.
The Eagles' hatred is strong.
Everybody hates the Eagles. Yeah.
Can you guys see me now?
No.
It's just a black square.
Better this way. Yeah.
Okay, my camera, the computer, it gave me 18,000 updates to do, and then it just wigged out when I said no to the update. So yeah, I'm just gonna probably be this little monitor thing right now. I do apologize.
All right.
But yeah, I think he would go. I think he would go with Washington from a rooting interest. In this game, everyone hates Philly fans. Philly fans hate Philly fans.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, they're disgusting humans.
So, all right. Well, moving on here to the nightcap. Buffalo and Kansas City. My Lord, this is really bothering me with this camera. Buffalo and Kansas City. You got the Bills going into Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs and the referees and Taylor Swift. Kansas City -2 points. Over under is 48.5. Sunday, that's today, 6:30 p.m. on CBS and Paramount Plus. Christopher, I will start with you this time.
You can't go against Kansas City at home. They're rolling. They still haven't opened up the playbook yet. They're just fucking good. I don't care about the referees and all that shit. Their defense is amazing. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback maybe ever. Give me Kansas City -2. I don't think it'll be as close as that, but Buffalo is on the come up. Josh Allen's been playing amazing, but I don't think they have enough talent on the offensive side to beat Kansas City in this game today.
So you're going Kansas City -2 points at Arrowhead.
Yes.
And I'm sure there won't be a controversial call at all from the officials that'll play into this one. They'll go in Kansas City's favor. I'm sure a late pass interference penalty to give the Chiefs the ball at the 1 yard line or something won't happen. I'm sure of it. And another thing I'm sure of is that I've been sure of for years is that Chris looks silly with those sunglasses. And our friend Tuaside here, I agree. How can he see anything while wearing sunglasses in the house?
The crazy thing is I'm just looking at a computer screen, so it's not that difficult.
Suicide, I agree. He does look ridiculous, or as they said in the that movie Haggard, goddamn ridiculous. So yeah, almost as ridiculous as my avatar looks because my camera just went kaput. And I'm using the internal camera from the computer too. That's what I don't understand. But anyway, Scotty, your pick here. Are you going with the Super Bowl that's going to piss off everyone that's against the native names? Because imagine if we have Washington and Kansas City, the articles that are going to come out about the Chiefs name, a linking back to the Redskins name back in the day, and that deluge is coming. Are you going for that Super Bowl?
I think everybody's over that now. You might have one writer out there mention it, but yeah, I think we're over that. But no, I am not going with that. I'm actually going with the Bills. I think they're going to win, so I will take the 2 points. I almost changed my pick this morning because I saw that the Sharps seem to be on Kansas City and the Public's on Buffalo. So that's never a smart bet. But last week, I thought the winner of the Bills and Ravens was going to win the whole thing. I'm not straying away from that now. I just feel like this is Josh Allen's and the Bills. It's their time. I just feel like the last 2 matchups in Kansas City, Buffalo has won. Obviously, neither one of them were championship games, so this is a different element. But yeah, I just think Kansas City has been winning by the skin of their teeth for most of the year. The Bills gave them their first loss this season already. I think it happens again. You mentioned the refs. I think maybe there's going to be so many eyes on this game that they're going to make sure that they don't. You might even see calls go in Buffalo's favor this game with all the eyes on them looking at the refs. So yeah, I just think it's Buffalo's time. Not a whole lot of analysis. I just think Josh Allen's going to be running and throwing all over the place. Probably be a close game, but I think Buffalo pulls it out.
I love your point about, you think the calls might go the other way. Buffalo might get some calls with the scrutiny, especially everyone's been talking about that over, in the lead up to this game. I don't see it happening. And especially the way Patrick Mahomes is protected. It's just interesting dichotomy when you look at these two quarterbacks where Josh Allen's looking for contact. He's running over guys. They use him as a battering ram. Then you have Patrick Mahomes who's going to, let's face it, I describe his play as slippery sometimes. He doesn't do a lot of design runs, but he just is always some backyard playground slippery stuff. He's like a grease pig trying to tackle him sometimes. And, some of this stutter stuff, it just leads to these unnecessary roughing the passer calls. It seems like he gets more protection when he leaves the pocket and becomes a runner than other quarterbacks do. And I just feel like it's going to be something where he's going to pull up as he's running out of bounds, and clearly someone hits him inbounds, but they call roughing the passer out of bounds or something like that. The way he plays the game leads to getting some of these calls, and he knows what he's doing. I mean, you saw him with a LeBron James-esque embellishment last week on the call they're trying to fake. I mean, maybe him and LeBron are boys. I don't know. But yeah, I like Buffalo in this game. I just think it's time. Just like Scotty said, I think it's time. And I think this is Josh Allen's obviously one of the faces of the league. He's one of the best players in the league, but I think this is his ascending the mountain moment. And we've seen Patrick Mahomes pull the rabbit out of the hat time and time and time again. I don't know if Buffalo's going to be able to run the ball with Cook the way that they have done in this postseason. The Kansas City's D line is really stout, but I just look at their passing attack and who's going to cover all these guys is what I worry about. Yeah, McDuffie's one of the best corners in the league, but Buffalo can throw so many different guys and spread the ball around so many different ways. And I think their defense is going to make a key play here or there or turnover. It's going to be tight, but I'm taking Bills Mafia plus the 2 points. I like them to win outright and advance to the Super Bowl here.
I can't wait for y'all to all be wrong.
What was that? Say it again, Chris.
I said I can't wait for you to all be wrong. I'm going to put my friendship bracelet on. Power of the Swifties. We're coming for you. Bills Mafia.
I like
Mahomes. Tables.
I'm not a Chiefs hater. I like Mahomes, but I just think the Bills are going to win. And that flop was ridiculous.
It was silly. But you got to do what you got to do, man.
I'm from Buffalo. Don't bet against the Bills. Two aside, we're not doing that, sir. We would never. I would never.
Historically, betting against the Bills usually works out. So I think I'll take my chances.
Hey, nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. And by the way, I just want you to know, where's the Super Bowl this year? I always forget what city is hosting.
New Orleans?
Yeah, I do too.
New Orleans? Okay.
Really?
Can you imagine Bills fans and Eagles fans on Bourbon Street? And that is, I don't know what their prison system's like there, but they really need to build more jails. Like the amount of drunken, disorderly, the amount of just wanton destruction. You got Bills fans jumping off of tables. You got Eagles fans punching police horses like they did after the Super Bowl and eating shit. That one guy literally ate shit. I mean, like, could you imagine the Super Bowl with these two fan bases? It's going to be like a war, like literally before the game even starts. So I feel like they might kumbaya because there is enough alcoholism between the two fan bases that they might just tear the town up, just get drunk in the bar. It's going to be like a week-long frat party or 2-week-long frat party leading up to that if it's Buffalo and Philadelphia.
Thankfully, the city of New Orleans is not going to have to worry about that because it's going to be Commanders and Chiefs.
Oh, God. I can only imagine now, and then this Taylor Swift showing up at the Super Bowl and vomit. I'm already like ready to be one of those annoying people that talks during the game and like shushes you in the commercials.
You think about her too much.
You might be obsessed with her.
Yeah, no, might be just
I was not that man who
you think she's pretty.
Well, she is that. I mean, I'm a red-blooded American male. I'm not stupid. I mean, all right, so we're going Buffalo +2 for me. I'm on the same side. This is Scotty, and then Kansas City -2 for Chris over here. Washington and Philadelphia. I'm taking the Commanders +6. Scotty's going under the 47.5. And Chris, you were on the +6 as well.
No, Terry McLaurin anytime.
Oh, that's touchdown. Right. Terry McLaurin anytime touchdown in that one there. All right, so getting into some other stuff here, getting into some of the real quick too, before we go into that, Chris, can you spell Eagles?
Yeah, SHIT.
Okay, well that may be true today, but apparently the mayor of Philadelphia can't spell Eagles last week.
Let me hear you all say ELGLES, Eagles. Let's go, Birds!
What?
You see the cop to the left was like, what is going on?
Oh, I gotta hear it one more time.
Let me hear you all say ELGLES, Eagles. Let's go, Birds!
How is that possible? No, there was a crossover. I haven't watched it. There was a crossover episode of Abbott Elementary, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And apparently the gang was, I guess, in the school. Maybe she needs to go back to Abbott Elementary to learn something because it's a EAGLES Eagles. That's like they like to spell things like dumber fan bases like to spell. Kind of like Ohio State fans always spelling OHIO because everyone in that state, the most that they can spell is 4 letters. Maybe she needs to go there. Look, Philadelphia public schools are not one of our best school systems in the country. Maybe she was a product of it. I don't know, but that is embarrassing. Like that's right up there with Dan Quayle couldn't spell potato. Like
A Dan Quayle fucking reference. That is insane in 2025.
we don't talk politics obviously on the show, but whatever happened to that guy? He was vice president and then just like disappeared. Is he still alive?
I mean, it was
Who
the
knows?
late 80s, early 90s, so probably not.
I feel like
We'll see.
obviously we know what Al Gore has been up to. We obviously know what
Scotty's
Biden
favorite
was up to.
game.
Well, is he?
Are they still alive?
I don't.
Dan Quayle is still alive. Born
Wow.
He is.
February 4th, 1947. Yeah, but just I feel like I have not heard his name since he misspelled potato, and that was apparently he tried to run for president in 2000. Did not know that, but there we go.
Wow.
Shout out to Dan Quayle.
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, he's still kicking, and maybe he's learned to spell by this point. Also, I just looked up his bio. Apparently, he went to DePaul University, not DePaul, DePaul,
Oh,
and he got his Juris Doctorate from Indiana University, Indianapolis, which used to be IUPUI.
Pooey
but-
pooey.
Yeah, so clearly he wasn't a Rhodes Scholar, so he's got that going for him. All right, moving on to some other stuff here. Let's get into a little bit of weird news, shall we? Weird news brought to you by absolutely nobody. Please send an email to info@letsnotdothispodcast.com. You can sponsor this Travis mockery and maybe fix my camera. Look, clearly we need sponsorship dollars. Okay. My generic avatar is up here because my camera has gone kaput. Clearly we need the sponsorship dollars. So help us out and send something over there and we can put you on this ridiculous podcast here. All right. One thing I wanted to get into. Have you guys ever been to Chicago?
No.
I haven't
I
either.
came. I was close. I was in South Bend, so it's not too far away.
Well, noticeably less crime in South Bend than Chicago, but I don't know
Not
if
by
they have,
much.
yeah, that's true. I don't know if they have coyotes in South Bend, but apparently they have coyotes in Chicago at the Aldi.
Okay, go ahead.
Watch out, guys. Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Hey, watch out, watch out, watch out.
That is a Aldi in Chicago. That was about a week ago, and I saw
Why
the
is it-
video.
Why is a police officer the one that happened to do that?
Who do you call? You call animal control and you call the cops. I mean, if there's a wild animal in the store, you're not calling the store manager, some guy making $21 an hour. He's not going to go drag them out.
Fuck no.
Yeah, if I was a police officer, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not. That's not my job. I'm good.
I don't want to run afoul of PETA here, but I feel like that's a taser situation, right? Like I'm going to tase that thing before I drag it
Fucking
out.
coyote shooting the fucking head.
Can you imagine you're at Aldi and you're trying to buy some discount cheese and all of a sudden you're over by the salads or whatever. Hey, I give him credit. It looks like there were some salads nearby. Maybe the coyote's eating healthy, He got tired of the Portillo's hot dogs and the what's that pizza place? What's the pizza place everyone goes to there? I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, maybe he's on a diet. He's trying to get ready for the summer. But I love that he went right back in too. Like, no, I'm not done shopping, dude. I would have called Border Patrol. They were trying to catch coyotes. The comments are too aside.
There you
They're not what's reflected of the way I do this podcast. It's subsidiary.
Oh,
That's
God.
actually really funny.
All
But,
you gotta do is put a Roadrunner in the store and let them chase it.
There we go. Have
We've
you
seen the cartoons.
Have you seen anything weird in like a grocery store? Like has anything gotten loose in there?
We've had a couple birds when I worked at U Crops flying around. They fly through the automatic doors when customers are entering. Those were a pain in the ass.
Yeah, back in my
Props.
Food Lion days, I think we had a bird, but nothing too crazy.
Am I the only one here that's never worked at the grocery store? You guys did, and then Ryan worked at, what was it, the U Crops, I want to say, when he was growing up. Am I the only one that's never worked in the grocery store? Interesting.
Yeah.
You might be. Yep.
I would have been fired at 16 for stealing beers. There's no doubt in my mind. And by stealing beers,
Oh yeah.
I mean just
sure.
going.
Well, U-Crops didn't sell beer, so you would have been fine working there.
Well,
That's right.
No wonder. No
you
wonder
wouldn't have worked there.
Yeah, no wonder they're out of business. Can't sell beer. Get out of my face here. Well, we saw that happen in the Chicago Aldi, and obviously the great state of Florida. There's always something weird happening there. This couple here, if I can bring this in, they're currently looking for them because they went into, I believe it was a Dollar General in Florida, and they proceeded to steal $500 worth of cleaning supplies. Okay, people steal. It's unfortunate, but whatever. But their diversion is what's making news here. Apparently, and you also see the gentleman has a natural ice here. I'm not sure if he stole that because in the article it says cleaning supplies. Maybe it's it's close to water, so maybe he's using that. I don't know. But the woman apparently proceeded to use the bathroom in the aisle of the grocery store as a diversion, so the gentleman could proceed to steal said valuables from the Dollar General. This article I pulled for us last week when we didn't do a show, so as far as I know, they're still looking for them. If you know these people, contact Florida officials. I don't know, but
or not.
Yeah, that's Hey, no,
we don't. We're not narcs.
Regardless of how you feel about the theft, you can't drop a deuce in the floor at the Dollar General, man.
And then steal all the cleaning supplies so they can't fucking clean it up.
That's
nasty work.
It reminds me of, there was a guy, and I feel like every town has like a story like this about like the resident crackhead in their town. But there was a guy growing up in my town who tried to do a slip and fall. He poured Crisco on the floor of the grocery store and then slipped and fell and then tried to sue. No, this is the 90s. So like security cameras were just coming into the age, especially in rural areas. But they did have several eyewitnesses and a security camera to bust his scheme there. I also was outside. I think I was like 8 years old, and I was playing football by myself because I had 3 older brothers that were much older than me. So I had nobody to play with. It was that lonely child kicking a football and trying to catch it. That was me. When several sheriff's deputies pulled up looking for this gentleman, and I saw him maybe 20 minutes before, and he's like, "They coming for me." And I just pointed him in the direction that he went. So, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
Going back to the story before, I have worked in multiple pharmacies where somebody has shit themselves or shit on the floor on the way to the bathroom.
Oh,
it's very unfortunate.
Oh, that is.
It's happened multiple times at multiple different locations. It's great.
Scotty, you were about to say something?
No, I just said I think it's a brilliant move, and it worked. We should make a movie about this. Ocean's number 2.
Yeah, number 2. Clearly, she needed to clean herself up after this, and to clean herself up, she can look to the AA baseball team in Binghamton, New York, about ideas to clean themselves up, because the Binghamton Rumble Ponies have an alternate identity, and they are the Binghamton Bathtub Donkeys. Now, this team is in the Eastern League, AA, so they're in the same league as our Richmond Flying Squirrels. And so they have an alternate identity that they'll play. I'm not sure all the dates yet, but that's their logo for the Binghamton Bathtub Donkeys. What do you guys think about the Bathtub Donkeys?
I got to think if you Google Bathtub Donkeys, you're probably going to see some unflattering videos.
Yeah. Well, apparently the name goes back to, because I was wondering, like, where did they get the name from? There's a guy, Ben's Biz. He does a bunch of stuff in minor league baseball. I had him on the show a few times when I was in radio, and great guy, hilarious. And Ben Hill wrote an article about this. Well, apparently the name goes back to, I want to say it was like sometime in the 1800s or something like that. Somebody was giving there was a donkey that was sleeping in a bathtub, and a flood came and washed the donkey and the tub away, and they had to use a lot of resources to get the donkey back to its rightful owner and the home. So this was actually Brooklyn, not Binghamton, where it happened, but this is where they got the impetus for the name. So they made a law, I kid you not, that you could not have a donkey sleeping in your bathtub on Sundays. No donkey sleeping in your bathtub on Sundays. And that led us to now in 2025, where the Binghamton Rumble Ponies have an alternate identity of the Binghamton Bathtub Donkeys.
I love the logo. It's one of the best that I've seen in a while.
Dude,
Minor league baseball is just awesome when it comes to this kind of stuff.
I'm
So much
sure they're
better
going
than
to.
MLB.
I'm sure they're going to sell so much merch. There's going to be so many kids like that want this. Like.
Oh yeah.
I hope that they use these uniforms when Richmond comes to town at some point, because for those of you that aren't in the Richmond area, we had a water crisis where essentially we didn't have potable water for like a week. So I'm hoping that they throw this in our face when our Richmond Flying Squirrels go to Binghamton and have, water night. Maybe they're just spilling water and giving out bottles of water, just flaunting that they have clean water, and they play as the bathtub donkeys. Yeah, it is a phenomenal logo. It's one of my favorites there, the Binghamton Bathtub Donkeys. And then one more thing here, I could have put this in sports, but it is bizarre as well. College football, obviously transfer portal. We all know about it, good, bad, yay, nay, whatever. But this may be the oldest guy to ever go into the transfer portal. East Carolina's punter, Luke Larson, officially entered the transfer portal. He is 32 years old. And I love that this guy tweeted he needs to transfer to a family.
Wow.
I don't know if he's Australian. I meant to look that up. A lot of Aussies come over. They end up playing Aussie rules football. They go to a kicking academy there. Then they become punters. And they come over. They're usually a little bit older. I don't know if this guy's Aussie. The name Luke Larson sounds very Australian. You can go ahead and hit that. That might be racist, but there's got
Forgot all about that button.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh,
Do
but
you have it?
yeah, it should be there.
All right.
I found it. I got it.
Racist.
There we go. But yes, Luke Larson, 32 years old. At 32, he should have like a dead-end job where he's like middle management somewhere, like an insurance company with like 2 kids, maybe teetering on divorce. He's got a car loan that he really can't afford, but he's trying to scrape by. That's what you should be doing at 32, not kicking footballs, right?
Stop describing my life. He's from Australia.
He is.
And he didn't pick up a football until he was 28. But he is finishing out his MBA right now. And so, yeah.
Well, you know what? I applaud him from transferring from East Carolina, because what do you do for an MBA at East Carolina? Do you like organize crayons by color there? Like, it is Radford with a football team. They don't call it EZU for nothing, and he's probably too old to be macking on the girls at Sup Dogs. So, I mean, there ain't much you can do in East Carolina as like an old man like that, So,
yeah, it is funny because like punters and kickers are usually probably like the outcasts on the team anyways. And now this guy's 32 years old around a bunch of 18-year-olds. Like, what does he have to say or relate to?
Can you just that locker room conversation, guys are like, what's that?
I said, and being foreign on top of it. This man's lived a whole life in a different country and then came over here to kick a fucking ball. This is why punters and kickers aren't people, much less football players.
Imagine those locker room conversations, though. You mentioned the guys are talking about going out, what girl they're trying to get with or whatever, Guys like, I can't wait to turn 21. I don't have to use my fake ID. And he's like, I might. Like, you got your IRA straight. Like,
a dingo ain't my baby.
Yeah.
Like Will Ferrell in Old School.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. All right, one more thing I wanted to get to here. I wanted to pull. I'm not an Oreo guy. You guys like Oreos?
Love them.
Love Oreos. Yeah.
I'm an Oreo guy. And I'm definitely not a Post Malone guy. I honestly don't know any of his music, but I just look at his face and I know I'm not a Post Malone guy. But Post Malone and Oreos have apparently teamed up. Was it Unwrap the Collab? There's 9 unique cookie designs. There's like salted caramel and shortbread cream inside of the Oreo. I don't know how I feel about this. There's like got various designs on the back. Which has anyone ever looked at the back of an Oreo? You just eat the damn cookie, like
Yeah.
You dunk
What are they
it.
trying to
and you
be
fucking eat
Nestle?
it.
yeah.
It's not a
I don't-
Crunch Bar. What are we doing?
Yeah. Would you guys buy this? I have no interest
No.
in this. No.
I'll probably try it. I mean, I
Not
don't
a
care about the
caramel guy.
design.
Yeah.
I like
I-
caramel.
Just give me a regular double stuffed Oreo and I'm happy. I don't need all this flavored shit.
Are you the kind of guy that dunks your Oreo, or do you just eat them straight up? What do you do?
My
Dunk-
fat ass
dunk 'em.
crumbles them up in a bowl and pours milk and eats them like cereal because I'm a fat fuck.
That
Going
may
back to
be.
the owner.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Well,
What
only
what
player
do you
college
do?
football that needs Blue Chew.
That's funny.
It's great.
What do you do? You wait. You do what to your Oreos?
I crumble them up, put them in a bowl, and I pour milk on top of them and eat them like cereal.
That's
That
what
is-
Justin.
It's
Justin does
very
that too.
efficient.
But
It's
he does it
very
with a
efficient. You don't
glass.
have to dunk. You don't get the shit all over your fingers. It doesn't crumble. You just eat it with the spoon.
That is the most that is. I guess I found the
Genius.
person that buys I figured it out.
Genius.
It goes right into your cheapness because you're too cheap to buy Oreo O's, which is child abuse. If you buy your child
It's-
Oreo O's, it's child abuse
But
cereal.
they're not good.
But so you make your own Oreo O's. Okay. Well, I wouldn't touch them. I'm not a big Oreo guy, but I will say that if I do eat cookies, I do like to drop one cookie into the bottom of the milk and just let it completely dissolve, and then I drink that cookie at the end. My wife thinks it's disgusting, but it's my thing.
Basically what I do at a much
Yeah, pretty
smaller
much.
scale.
Yeah, maybe. And one last thing too before I get out of here, I didn't have time to pull the graphics, so I'm bringing this in here. General Mills, they got a little collaboration that no one needed to have coming here. We got Tostino's Pizza Rolls and Cinnamon Toast Crunch doing a collab here. So it's going to be.
First of all, it's Totino's.
I said.
There's no
Oh,
S.
I'm sorry. I am the stupid person. I've always said Tostinos. I don't know why. It's like those people that say Kroger's, and I want to drop kick them. I'm going to drop kick myself for that. So thank you for the correction. Totino's Pizza Rolls and Cinnamon Toast Crunch doing a collab here. So it's going to be Cinnamon Toast Crunch with like Totino's like flavoring sprinkled on top of it.
Pizza. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out on that
I
one.
saw this. I think it's only available online. So unless one of y'all buys it for me, I will not eat this on the show.
Yeah, it is coming up. Where is it? Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, January the 28th here, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can get a free box of the limited edition treat. It's on a first come, first serve basis. So if you want it, you got to go to shop.cinnamontoastcrunch.com starting at 7:01 p.m. I think we should all try to get our hands on one of these boxes to make Chris eat this on the show.
I will
Sure.
eat it on the show.
That just sounds.
It sounds
disgusting.
disgusting. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna enjoy it. I can guarantee it. But I will. We do it for the content.
Yeah, do it for the. Well, don't say that because there's many things I can make for the content.
Do it for the content.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, obviously, good to see you guys back. Thank you, Carla.
Thank you, Mom.
Love you.
Relax.
Was that the? And there's now a restraining order on Chris at their home. All right. Well, before we get out of here, we had mentioned our dear friend Ryan, and we miss him greatly. We were at his service yesterday. It was a lovely service. Really, just great words spoke by a lot of people, and the celebration of life, the singing was amazing. Just seeing everyone from all walks of life being there and celebrating his life was truly phenomenal here. Boys, let's tell some some stories here, tell some tales about our dear friend. That's one of our favorite pictures, by the way. That was
I love that picture so much.
that was from my birthday. I want to say it was like 2021, 2020, maybe. I think it was 2020 during my birthday. But I remember we went to Kickback Jacks, then we went to Drive Shack, and then back to Kickback Jacks a second time. And I forget what it was, but I had ordered something grotesque, and this was just the look on his face, like when it came to the table. And so, and I believe he made that his profile picture for like a long time. And when I think of Ryan, this is one of the pictures that always comes to mind. Just like apprehensive, kind of look. So, any stories you guys want to share? Any memories of Ryan?
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Ryan when we would go out is, first of all, he would always show up after us. We'd see his car rolling into the back of the parking lot, and he would talk on the phone to his mom for 20 or 30 minutes while we're in there waiting. But one of the funniest stories is he said that he had to go get something out of his car one night. It was closing time. They just brought his food out. And I'm sitting there, I'm waiting on him, finishing up my drink. And they're like, where'd your friend go? I said, I don't know. He said he'd be back. They're like, well, we're closing, so here's his food. So I was like, well, shit, I don't know where he is. So I guess I'm paying his tab. I'll grab the food and I'll see if I can find him. So I pay his tab, grab his food. I was parked next to him. So I walk out to my car. I see his car is still there. His car is running. This man is curled up in the back seat. He's got his jacket over his body, fucking taking a nap. I knock on the window. I said, hey, man, you all right? He was like, yeah, I just need to take a nap. I was like, all right, man, here's your food. Get home safe. That motherfucker fall asleep anywhere. He was a constant couch surfer at Leon's. He tried to sleep on my couch one day, ended up having to sleep in my son's bed because my roommates didn't want the dogs to come downstairs and wake him up and start licking his face and everything.
He might have liked
that. He might have. This is before he met his beautiful and loving girlfriend Sarah, so he might have enjoyed that action from Bentley and Izzy that day.
That's funny.
You mentioned Ryan sleeping in the car. That was not a one-time thing. For those who are watching right now, he did the same to me week 1 college football 2020, that delayed season because of COVID and kind of shortened and stuff. And I remember it was when Indiana beat Penn State. Michael Penix extending at the pylon when he was at IU and they beat Penn State. I remember the whole bar going crazy. We were there watching the game. We've been watching football all day. And he ordered food, we ate, we drank everything, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna go to my car, grab my jacket real quick. I'm like, all right, cool, man. 30 minutes goes by. I'm like, okay. Everyone knew Ryan. He was the mayor of Richmond, like the rightful mayor of Richmond. Everyone knew him. Everyone had a story. I was like, okay, he probably ran into a buddy because he always runs into a buddy somewhere. 45 minutes goes by, an hour, I still don't see him. And I'm like, send him a text, hey, man, you good? I'm like, okay, maybe he's, I don't know, maybe we need to go get gas or something. I don't know. Closing time, I'm like, all right, man, I gotta pay. I pay it for our tabs. I walk outside, I see his car. Now I go to the car. Now look, there he is in the back seat. Unlike with you, Chris, the car wasn't running this time. It was, early football season, so it was still warm. And he had taken the jacket and curled it up, and then you was using it as a pillow under his head, and was sleeping in the car. And then my lovely wife had to pick us up from said bar and take us home.
Amazing.
But go on, Scott.
I didn't know him as long as you guys have, so I don't have as many stories. But the main one that sticks out to me is the really the whole trip. Was it 2 years ago for March Madness up the MGM?
Yeah.
Just from getting up there and seeing the empty sports book and like, oh, hell yes. And then them asking us if we have a reservation. We're like, what? And then, so he couldn't get into the sports book, but the hostess had a Syracuse jersey on. And Ryan has a Syracuse tattoo. So, he goes up, he was like, oh, a nice jersey. And he shows her his tattoo, and she's just like, okay, cool. Like, well, that didn't work. So we had to go to some bar and watch all the games that day. And then that same trip, the inspiration for the Nick Multitasker episode, we all go to McDonald's, like we're getting breakfast, and we all get our food, and Ryan's in the bathroom. And so we all start eating, or we just as we're sitting down, Ryan just comes out the bathroom. His food's ready to go. We're like, when did he order that? And then we realized he was on the toilet ordering his breakfast, which is just something I would never think to do, but it was also brilliant.
Yeah,
it was.
We're all like, man, like Ryan's. We have to wait on him, and nope, he just walks to the bathroom, picks up his food, and sits down.
It was brilliant, and also the most Ryan thing ever, because he would go to any facilities. It didn't matter where. And it'll be a cold day in hell before I use a McDonald's restroom for anything except for taking a leak. Ryan had no shame in that. If there was a bar, if there was a restaurant, if there was a roadside Porta John, he would go there. It didn't matter. And so
did not care.
The fact that he ordered his breakfast while in a disgusting Fredericksburg McDonald's bathroom is the most Ryan thing of all time.
Oh, yeah, and we went there. Is that the one we went to? Because we went to that may or may not be racist diner, and it was like an hour wait. Yeah. Everybody's looking at us. Well, not at me and Chris.
Not often you see two black guys, two white guys. One looks like a third grader with gym shorts on as we walk into a diner.
Some good old boys like standing outside their pickup truck with a visible gun on their waistband. Yeah. It's like, man, what is this place?
Yeah. But
the food probably was really good there.
I've eaten there before. The food was really good. But
yeah, and certain bartender used to be the manager there way back when.
There we go. All comes back full circle. But that was our dear friend Ryan. But we could talk about him all day and still not even scratch the surface on him. We miss him dearly on this show, and we're going to miss him just in general. Every game I've watched since then, I keep waiting to see him pop through the door and grab his spot on my couch and inevitably end up passing out on said couch at some point. I was talking to one of his friends we kind of had like a wake kind of thing at his favorite bar, Home Team Grill, and one of his buddies had mentioned he was the best man in his wedding, and he had mentioned when he got his house, Ryan was like, oh, in his speech, he ended his speech with, hey, make sure to keep the couch warm for me. That was Ryan. If you hung out with Ryan on Saturday, you got Ryan all day on Saturday and into Sunday too. And we loved it. And we'll always miss him, and we love him. And so we ask that you obviously cancer is just a horrible disease, and he fought like a champ all the way to the end. He was a fighter through and through, and he fought it as admirably as anyone can. And it's taken so many people from us. I'm sure there's not a single person watching or listening or whatever that hasn't been touched, unfortunately, by cancer. And so hopefully we can eradicate this disease one day, but we hope that you all can consider making a donation to the Virginia Commonwealth University, their Massey Comprehensive Cancer Center. I know his sister had posted this online. Jasmine Davis, I guess, is the contact they were working with there, but that's her phone number. That's her email. I guess she does like a coordination of donations and stuff. And if you want to reach out, and even if it's not VCU, if there's another cancer center, UVA, or wherever near you, whatever, American Cancer Society, just to make a donation just to fight this awful disease. And hopefully one day we can get a cure so we can stop losing great people like Ryan from it. So
well said. You did a great job on your speech yesterday too.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It was It was a tough day for us all, but I was honored to have the opportunity to go up there and say a few words about our friend. So,
And we'll post this this picture on our Facebook as well and Instagram,
Yeah.
so that anybody else, we have a broader audience to see it. So
definitely. Well, boys, I think that I'll probably about put a bow on it for this morning. And Ryan, we love you, buddy. And I know NC State is struggling right now in basketball, so I'm sure you're up there right now. I'm sure he's up there right now giving Jimmy V and Coach Case and K Yao. I'm sure they're all up there right now commiserating about NC State's woes, and I'm sure he's up there right now giving somebody an earful about the Cowboys hiring Brian Schott number 2. Whenever Jerry Jones' time comes, whenever Jerry gets up there, Ryan's gonna have some words for him, I'm sure. It's like that episode of
he's
Seinfeld.
gonna be waiting.
It's like that episode of Seinfeld when they thought George was dead, and Steinbrenner comes to his parents' house to give the news, and he's like, "What the hell did you trade Jay Buter for?" And he's just like going in on Steinbrenner. It's like, that's what Ryan's just gonna be up there waiting, like right now, for Jerry. So. All right. Well, we'll see you guys back. We'll get back on the normal schedule this week coming up Thursday at 6:45. You make sure to like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff here. And in the coming days, we'll have another spinoff podcast that we'll talk about too a little bit later as we get closer to that. But keep an eye out for that as well. So, gentlemen, we will see you guys on Thursday.
See ya.